Well, I'm excited to speak with you about the film Baggage Claim,
Me
Derek,
as well. Thank
and
you.
appreciating the character William Wright. You know,
Yeah.
I've talked to some other cast members this morning, including the director David Talbert, and
Oh,
we
have
talked
you?
about your character, and he just said that you were perfect for the role,
Mm.
and we see more of the nice guy that we saw in Sparkle. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's the interesting thing about the title,
Mhm.
nice guy. When I first came to LA, all you heard was brothers were up for gang members, and so it's very interesting to have that title of a nice guy because that's not necessarily how I was perceived when I first got here. When I got here, I had my well baggy pants and my gold fronts and my whole.
What?
And it's interesting that I was just bringing my environment to another city, but to actually have that brand, where people say you're a nice guy, I don't compete with it. I receive it because at the end of the day, I'm an actor, and a lot of the roles that people relate goes from Biker Boys to Booby Miles to Antoine Fisher to Diddy, and I'm gonna just keep playing, you know, roles that I love.
Mhm. So, did you feel like people were trying to identify you a certain way, but you knew?
Yeah, I think one of the things about this business or any business is you got to have your shield of faith up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And when you have your shield of faith up, even though words are coming out, and sometimes people don't mean any harm, uh, but for me to be related as a nice brand,
Mhm.
that's great because I really get my transition and my orders from God. So it's like
Amen.
if I'm in that nice road, cool.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in the elevator and I'm surrounded by a sea of, say, all white people, and a woman, older, middle-aged white woman shouts out, "I saw your movie," and everybody turns. Where back in the days, I used to get on the subway and people used to grab their purse.
Right,
And
right.
so, if I'm looking at William Wright as someone seeds in cinema about men of color.
Right,
You know
that's
what I'm
deep.
saying? So that's why the nice has much more ripple effect or implications to me
Mhm.
than what even David, because David wrote it, but when I play it, I own it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I like
saying?
that. I like that.
You own the script. I own
Yeah.
the character.
Yeah. You made it
So
your own.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But, that's not to say that if you did get a role where, you needed to get that message out there, if you feel like the message from the script needs to be heard and he's a bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
would you take it?
Um, would I take a would I take a bad guy role?
Hmm.
It's interesting. It, Characters are like clothes to me. I never want to follow the trend. Never want to follow the trend. And in Hollywood or any industry, if they think all the cars should be blue,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna start selling blue cars.
Yeah.
But I like to drive down silver Mercedes, 1960, and just because.
Yeah.
And I think, but will I play a bad guy if it's right, right message, right cause? Yeah.
So you consider yourself building a classic
I, s-
in
I c-
Hollywood?
what do I consider myself? I consider myself a follower of the classics before me.
Okay.
And, Sidney Poitier, Paul Robeson, Denzel, I think they were significant in their generation is because they stood for something. They
Yeah.
had their own idea. So I rather look back 5, 10 years or 20, 30, 40 years down the line and someone says, that nice dude, I love the trail that he laid out. And so that's who I take it, because I think Sidney said in his quote, he was like, I will not play a character. I will not play a character that has not integrity. You
You
know what I'm
got to do the
saying?
accent, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like he says, I refuse to play anything that didn't have integrity.
Yeah.
And so he built that brand, and now I'm learning about what my brand is.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like almost a business of acting as well.
You know what? It's on-camera acting is commerce acting. It's
Mm.
the actor in commerce. It's the actor on Wall Street, so to speak.
Okay.
And actor on stage or you acting in the mirror.
Mhm.
That's pure acting,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. But in this, it's business, commerce, and all that other stuff. And I love it. You made me think about it because if you do play, how do you play nice guy in a business world?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really I own that.
You own it.
I own that, no doubt.
Just as you owned William Wright
Uh,
in Baggage Claim.
no doubt. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
kissing on Paula Patton.
No, Paul was kissing on me. Tell Robin Thicke that. No, it's that. No, that.
Okay, we're gonna circle back around to
Okay.
that. We'll circle back around to that. But
Yeah.
I loved his character. He was a nice guy. So single women like me appreciated the William Wright.
No, you about to make me comment. You know what? No, because
Come with it.
I'm
Come
about
on,
to
come on,
see now.
Derek.
If I had
Come
if I
on.
had a sister, right, and I'm not gonna refer to any of the dudes in the movie because I think I had been. Maybe I had been one of those guys a couple of times before, I got married or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But let my sister come home with anybody except Mr. Right,
Yes.
she got problems.
She got problems.
Yeah, she got problems. And I think in today's world, I think a lot of times relationships are complicated
Yeah.
because people make them complicated.
Yeah.
And sometimes Mr. Right is not valued.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was with David's nephew who's like 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
And David said, "Who's your favorite character?" And he says, "William." He says, "Why?" He says, "Because all my female girlfriends, they go through all these,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm standing right here, and they're like,"
Mm-hmm.
so mine was just, I had fun because I just felt, William was right. It was right. It was right
William
for
Wright
this
was
time.
right.
He was right. He was right, and that's what I loved about him.
Okay, now I know you're married.
Yeah.
So, but let's kind of turn back the hands of times because William and Montana were best friends.
Right.
They, were together for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, they were probably one another's first true love.
Right.
They just
right.
didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember yours?
Do I remember my first love?
Yeah.
I remember the one I loved, but she didn't pay me any mind. I mean, come on, you. That's why you can't. I'm telling you, you can't grow up as a bitter actor, because boy, I tell you, you be a male chauvinist. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
Yeah. I'm sure there are plenty of those.
You gotta. Yes, I had. The girl who only dated the athlete. And if you wasn't an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
You might as well forget it. The
Mm-hmm.
athlete had the swag, and so yeah, I had relationships like that.
Yeah.
But I used it to my defense, because my mom always taught me about proper dating, treating females right.
Right.
So I would never tell a girl that I was marriage compatible.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because no girl at that time wanted to hear that.
Right.
But mine was, let me see how you would treat me, because based on how you would treat me is how I would spend time with you in the future.
All right.
See, I was already like, they say women are smarter.
Yeah.
I think a good mother is smarter.
I've never heard that before. Say that one more time for me.
They always say women are smarter than men.
Yeah.
I say a good mother is smarter.
Because she's teaching the man.
She's teaching me about qualities of a good man and
Okay.
qualities of a not so good woman.
He is spitting game.
See, now if I would have shot this movie,
Come on,
I would have
Derek.
I would have showed the intellect of this brother
Right.
from another mother from
Right.
I would have sold
would've
a
went
whole
deep
nother I would have
behind
went
William
deep. I would have
Wright.
because my mom and her girlfriends, they taught me about dating.
Yeah.
When they didn't want me to hear something, they spoke in pig Latin. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, I grew up listening to the dispensation of women, the complexities of characters,
Yeah.
and the different husbands and wives that they would go through.
Yeah.
And my mom would tell me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it almost seems like men get jaded too. After a while, they go through this range of women that they didn't ask mama about.
Right,
And
yeah.
by the time they get to the good girl,
Mm-hmm.
women like me,
Alright.
they're tired.
Really?
They're bitter.
The key to good women,
Okay.
finding a good man, no compromise.
No compromise.
No compromise. I think
Don't settle.
Don't settle. And I think if you stand in the lane where everybody else is standing, it gets tired.
Yeah.
But if you're always on the side and you're confident, a guy would be like, that's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't want to end up like the many guys that Montana Moore went through.
Yeah.
Especially with the exes. I had asked Jill Scott and Adam Brody earlier about
Oh,
backtracking.
Adam's here? Oh, okay.
Yes, Adam is in the house.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I asked him about backtracking. So is it okay for a do-over? What do you think?
I explain do-over.
You tried it once, it didn't work.
Uh,
You try it again with the same person. Try it again. Do you think
So-
people should backtrack?
Is it okay for a do-over? I think part of a relationship is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you backtrack, you got to make sure, is it half emotional
Mm-hmm.
or is it half peace?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're doing emotion plus emotion equals emotion.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Song lyrics.
all right.
Okay.
So, is it?
It sounds like no.
Really? Oh, okay.
It needs to be.
So I think you can backtrack, but if you don't backtrack with wisdom, you're heading for disaster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
How can you really tell if a person's changed? If they
Mm.
have, if they say they've changed.
Well, now you're getting into my yoga quotes. You know, it's like I think every
Tap your
tree.
inner Gandhi.
Yeah, I think I think it's godly. I think
Yeah.
it's biblical. I think every tree has a fruit.
Yeah.
And anytime you walk past a tree, you if it's emotion, you're trying to turn that banana tree into an apple.
Right.
But if it's peace, you see that fruit. You know, people can't hide their fruit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jelly on the tongue does not explain who a person is. You know what I'm saying? It's just jelly on the tongue. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, you asking the questions. I'm bringing
you
the.
giving me this
I'm
answer.
bringing the
Okay,
swag.
you are bringing the swag
Yeah, I'm
in your
trying to-
dapper suit, mind you, your congressman suit.
That's
he
right, no
described it
doubt.
earlier.
Yeah, authority.
Well, one of my final questions to you is, like we mentioned, you are married, your wife Sophia.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet, and how did you propose? Because this is a film about proposing.
Oh.
So,
See?
are you willing to share that with me? Oh, come on,
What
Derek.
I am willing to learn is that I have some things to learn from William. You know, because you can be sincere, but as my mom would say, you can be sincerely wrong.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like your approach can be, you know, and you can trip all the way to your knees, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But then part of, you know what I'm saying, maturing is like, all right, let me turn my heart into a weapon. And so how I do that is that let me plan this out, you know, let me be romantic. Let me find out what romance is for this particular situation. So my romance game is growing.
It's growing.
daily.
Okay.
So
How long have you been married?
I've been married 14 and a half years.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
What does it take to get to 14 and a half years?
See,
Give me
I'm
some
on this-
quick secret ingredients real quick.
See, I'm on here sitting, you know, shooting out all my yoga advice. And see, this is how it is. I'm
But see,
sitting
I'm
here.
learning. See,
Nah,
we're doing
see,
interviews, but I'm
now
learning.
the
I'm
tone has
learning.
totally changed. Now I'm Obama of relationships now, right? Now she want to hear what I got to say.
I am on your campaign. I'm on your
That's what's up.
administration. Just
Okay.
give me some secret ingredients real quick.
Okay. I think a key to maintaining a relationship,
Staying married.
staying married,
Yes.
which is a theme in the movie.
Yes, it is.
I think having good counsel, good relationship counsel, people that have done it longer than you,
Yeah.
that can advise you. And just like one of my mentors in marriage told me and my wife, he said in the first year of marriage, he says, unpack your bags. And that's it. The rest is 99 cents each on iTunes. Holla, call it quit.
It doesn't get any better than that with Derek Luke, who plays William Wright, and David Talver's Baggage Claim. It's out September 27th. I have really enjoyed our conversation. I'm going to walk right out of here and get me a husband just from the conversation I've had with Derek.
It happens.
It happens.
Things like that happens. Yes, it does. No doubt.
Derek, thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Pleasure.
I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you.